along. If you have questions, feel free to just raise your hand. You can throw things at me. If you're going to throw glasses, please make sure they're full so I can drink them. All right, I'm going to start off with a few fun facts here. First off, we are the southernmost winery and brewery in the continental U.S. We are also the only winery to produce avocado wines. Because of this, we hold the world record for the largest amount of guacamole in a single serving at 4,114 pounds. It's a lot of guacamole. It's just going to take some chips to get through that. We also have the largest tikis in South Florida. So we're going to start over at the far end. That's where we have our Grand Tiki. Friday nights we'll have karaoke in the Grand Tiki. Tonight we have a salsa band. I believe it's J Salsa and Oregon is going to be playing out there tonight. Usually it's after 6, closer to 7 o'clock that they start. It's usually a cover charge, like tonight is $12.50 cover charge. You're here now, so if you wanted to stay for that, it's a $10 cover charge, a little reduced. Then we're going to go over to the Waterfall Tiki. This is where we're going to be feeding some fish here in a few minutes. The Waterfall Tiki.
Are you recording it? Mm-hmm.
He was weeding the grapevines there. Found out it was pretty hard work, so he stayed in school. Ended up getting a degree in marketing, which allowed him to move down to this area. He became a produce buyer when he moved down here. Met somebody by the name of Denise, who was a produce seller. They ended up getting married, and they started a company called Fresh King. So Fresh King, his company is still here to this day. They're actually housed in this little white building over here. What they do is they take all the produce that comes from the farm fields around here, or our farm fields, and they send it off to the market. They have two different types of categories when they start dealing with produce. They have a category 1, which is really the pristine sort of produce that goes to market. It's what you like to, it's the visually good looking for produce. And they have what's called a category 2. You may have a bump or a bruise or grew kind of funny. At category 2 fruit, normally you just end up throwing it back on the ground, let it compost back in. But you can't sell it at market. Peter took a look at this and he thought there should be a use for this. So he got a hold of a guy named Bill Wagner up in New York. He owned the second biggest winery in New York at the time. He invited him down, just kind of hoping that he might just take pity on him. And Bill Wagner was really big into paying it forward, so somebody taught him how to make wine. So I thought, well, I'll teach Peter how to make wine. He took pity on him. They started working on Peter's garage, just trying to make wine right out of the garage. They first started with lychee, and they found out lychee actually kind of made like a Riesling wine, which you're very familiar with. Riesling wines are usually known to be a more northern type of wine. Then they started working with mangoes, guavas, passion fruits, and coconuts. They found out all those actually make a pretty good wine too. Thus was born the winery. It was about late 2000.
Where we're going right now? We're going to
This is a tour to go to see the wine, is it?
Yeah, to the brewery.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's where the brewery is.
Let's see what this is about. Oh, look, the containers. Oh my God, I wonder if they get it straight imported right now.
Right?
Like just straight over here. They probably do since it's a company. It's considered a company, so they probably like, since it's like domestic too.
Yep. Here we go.
So this is the room where the magic happens.
You smell it.
Yeah, it smells.
Alright, so how many beer drinkers I have in the crowd? Anybody had a chance to taste the beer yet? No? Still time. We have 4 different styles of beer. We have a coconut ale. Nice coconut
Oh, this is the beer room.
We also have a wheat ale, which has a little bit of mango in it. And then we have an IPA. Everybody needs an IPA. And then we also have a brown ale. So those are kind of our 4 main. And then we have seasonals that we rotate through. We have a few different seasonals on right now. But those are our 4 main. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the brewing process. What we're going to deal with is this first tank here. This is called our mash tun. When we first start, it's going to remove any wild yeast that happens to be on it, any oil that happens to be on the can. Makes it nice and clean and ready for the beer. Can's going to move into our 20-stage turnstile there. It's on the right there with the numbers in it. As it moves around there, a valve flips, fills the can up with 12 fluid ounces of beer. It's going to move to the next stage where you see our Miami Brewing a label on it. A top gets placed on top of it. The can spins 360 degrees while we crimp that top on. So now it's a sealed environment. Nothing can get in. The only way you can get out is if you crack that top. It's going to move down the line where at the last stage we blow a little air over it just to remove any beer that happens to be on the outside so it's not sticky. And then by hand, we snap these into those 6-pack holders. So that's somebody on each side there snapping them into the 6-pack holders. Then somebody will take the 6-pack, pick it up, place it onto a pallet. As he's doing that, he's going to feel the sides of each of the cans. He's also going to feel how much the weight was. If something feels off, we're going to weigh them. If they're not 360 grams, we're going to replace them with one that is 360 grams. The ones that were not 360, they get set off to the side. At the end of the canning day, when it's all said and done, this is where I say I get to take one for the team. I have to open it up, I have to drink some of it, make sure it tastes like you guys expect it to taste. A little quality check. Somehow the can gets empty, everybody's happy, we all go home happy. Is there any questions on the process here? Anybody have any idea what's behind me? No. Same press. Excellent. Yeah, these are presses. Good call. Yeah, these are Wilms bladder presses. So there's really 3 styles of fruit that we can press with these. Back in the old days, you've probably seen people would stomp on the grapes with their feet. That's not sanitary. Plus, we have tropical fruits, and that's going to end up hurting. So we had to come up with a little different way. We came up with these presses. The 3 types of fruit that we can use through these are carambola, lychee, and passion fruit. We start looking at some of the other styles that we do, like coconut, mango, guava, or avocado. It would end up making, you know, like a puree in there, or the avocado would make guacamole. We already made enough guacamole, so we don't use that in here. The mango. I'll talk to you how we make the mango too. Those 4 different styles, like the mango, the guava, and the coconuts, we'll end up cutting those into pieces, and we'll add those into the water. That's what we call infusing, so it just gets infused into the wine instead of actually making grape juice or making tropical fruit juice out of it. And then the avocado, we'll actually cut that avocado around the middle, we'll pull the seed out, and then we'll add the meat into it. So the 3 styles that we can use, we'll add 3.5 tons of that into this press. Big bladder in there, it inflates like 5 to 6 times. It's pressing all that fruit up against this grate, pushing the juice through it. Things like passion fruit has a very small seed, so we'll put rice husks on here in order to catch those small seeds so those don't blow through there. So we get about 2,500 to 3,000 gallons of fruit juice. It'll drop down into this trough that's down below here. Then it'll move it to the back where we transfer it up and over into our fermenting vessel. So the fermenting vessel, you'll notice it's out here in the open. I was saying the yeast really likes to be about 70, 80 degrees. You pretty much get that temperature year round here in Miami. So it makes it very nice for us to ferment right here out in the open. So this is where we do the main portion of our fermenting. These are our actual fermenting tanks. Everything I'm showing you is actual production line. So these tanks, you also notice that they're kind of clear. In the morning, when when it's cold at night, a little cold, the yeast will end up falling asleep a little bit. So in the morning, that sun will come and it'll beat through there, end up warming it up, getting it going again. So that's why they're somewhat clear.
Ooh, it smells like wine. Yum.
Yum, 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 yum.
Oh, it's so nice.
God, imagine an office in there and you have to work there all day.
No, that is an office.
Right?
It is.
Holy shit, it must be like a heater in there.
It is very nice.
No, I didn't say nice.
Until it gets a magic 11.5% alcohol, then at that point we will shock the wine. And then we'll turn it into chillers and we'll cool it down as fast as we can. Almost try to flash freeze. We put whatever yeast is left in
Not
there
the
to
14.5,
sleep.
that's because it's like, I have a flavor, right?
We'll rack off in this valve right here. We'll try to get everything above that tub. We'll send it through the same sort of filter press that we have back in the brewery. It's going to get any enzymes or proteins that are still left in there, out of it. And then we're going to go into what we have. We have a little 4-station sanitizer. Where we're going to buy it, we're going to take the bottles and place it on there. Sensor activated, it's going to fill up with sanitizer and drain back out. Then we're going to move the bottle to the filling station. Sensor activated also. We'll place it in there, it's going to fill up that 750 milliliters. And then we're going to put it into our corking station, which is right behind you there. The corking station, a big metal rod, so we can jam it and actually pour it down into the bottle. At this point, it's pretty much ready to go. We're going to wrap it with foil on top, and then we're going to put some label on it. We do have the ability to do a real custom label. We have like a special event, like a wedding or an anniversary. You can put whatever picture you want on there, and you can also put whatever you want for your wedding.
Yeah, it's like everything all at once.
Everything, yeah.
Like what you had at your wedding at a winery.
Winery. Hello.
Hello.
One other point, we have, you see that there's a tape measure on the side of that tank. We have to report this thing for how many gallons.
It's a lot of gallons.
So we'll run a tube up the side of that tank, open the valve at the bottom. That tube will fill up, the third tube will fill up, and we'll be able to get an inch mark reading. On the side of the tank, you see it says 17.62 gallons per inch. That gives us a conversion, so we know how many gallons we're getting. there any questions at this point? Yeah, everyone wants to go back up to the
From star fruit, resembles a Pinot Grigio. Sweet avocado, very refreshing with a nice citrus bite and lemon zest.
Good, right? That's the one you had. I like it now that I'm drinking it.
That's definitely
Cheers.
really good.
I like it.
Wine, and it can be served cold or room temperature.
My favorite. This one's my favorite. The one you're drinking.
She likes it too. She's like, this is my favorite. When you're drinking, it's a glass.
Told you.
We had 2 hurricane white, avocado, coconut, and vanilla.
Avocado, coconut, and vanilla.
Cheers. Cheers. You have to do it. Okay, you're doing it with your left hand. You're supposed to always do salute with your left hand.
I always do.
Wait. Salute.
The glasses break.
I know.
Tangy like a sour candy. Goes well with Sprite or vodka.
Sour candy. Like it tastes good.
Cheers, bitches. Wait, it's like freezing in New York, right? Much wine, bitches.